And also, will you talk about the third person singular when it often occurs at the beginning of a sentence?
Yes. Okay. Claudia's asking about esti, and if it occurs at the beginning of a sentence, it will have its accent on the first syllable. So it will look like, let me fit it in, I'll write it up here. So it would have it, and it might still have the nu there, esti. And here it means something like there is or there exists, something exists. There is something, which is a little bit different from saying something is something, right? I think in the languages that you speak, you have ways of saying there is. So in French, what, il y a?
Right, yeah.
And in German, what, es gibt? In Spanish, what is it? I.
I.
How do you say in Turkish? Well, we're not going to be able to hear you, are we? Sorry, Jackie. How do we say there is in Italian?
Like K.
Okay. So is that what you're asking? Kind of a special use of esti where the accent changes and it means something like existence. Something exists. Because for the Greeks, existence was pretty important.
And would that only occur in the present tense, or would it also occur in the past narrative?
The difference only occurs in the present tense. Yeah. So this is important when you read Plato, and I'm thinking of things like the Euthyphro, where he's talking about definitions and things that exist, etc., etc. But it occurs in Homer too, that distinction.
There is a city-state, right?
There is a city.
The city-state, right? And
there is a city-state.
Then you go on and describe the city.
Yes, good. So then it's philosophical. Yes, go on.
And Janet has a question in the chat bar. She asks, can it sometimes be used for translating what in English we would say to have, like I have 2 sons?
Oh, thank you, Janet. I got to look at the chat bar. Yes, I see them. Thank you for reminding me, Sarah. So yes, you can use the verb to be with the dative case of possession.
Oh boy.
So Janet's question says, I have 2 sons, could be translated as something like, there are to me 2 sons.
Right.
So then there are, it would be esti, or it actually would be the plural, esi. And then to me or for me, we would need to have the dative of the pronoun and then the 2 sons. Okay. So that's a really good question.
Yeah.
So instead of saying I have something, saying there are to me something, there are belonging to me, dative of possession. Good, really good question.